All right. Welcome back to Off the Couch Podcast. I'm your host, Gabriel, Coach Gods. I'm just making sure it was recording because I recorded a whole podcast without it recording. Or I guess we did a whole podcast. It is recording. We're good to go.
Okay.
So, anyways, well, welcome. It's good to see everybody digitally. We have a very special guest today. We got Eddie. Eddie is he's been a member here for a minute now, a couple of years, and he's done a lot for our community. We were having a really good conversation the other night, and I was like, "Hey, we should have you on the podcast." So here we are.
I asked a lot of questions.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect for right now, especially. Let's just see if we can replicate or do our conversation from the other night. It was a good combo. Anyways, so Eddie, how are you?
I'm good. I just died a little bit on that workout, and 2.5 rounds in, I decided to remove some weight just so I can make sure and get the stimulus.
Good. That's a good decision. That's like what we talk about all the time, like checking your ego. And sometimes you don't realize until maybe you're halfway through a workout that's like, dang, this is maybe just a little bit, maybe I reached a little higher than I should for right now.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of maturity to recognize that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So, like, hat goes off to you, because most people would just be like, oh, I'm already here. I'm just going to force it and just try to finish the workout with this heavier weight or whatever. And like, that's okay, I guess. But
Cut
like
the reps or something.
Yeah, you're just putting yourself at risk of injury. So it's like, instead of forcing stuff, you made a smart decision and you scaled back. And it was still really hard.
It was still really hard. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Good. What was the workout you just did?
Let's see. We had 8 pull-ups, 12 clean. No, yeah, 12 cleans.
Front squats?
12 front squats. 8 pull-ups, 12 front squats, and 16 kettlebell swings.
Nice.
For 5 rounds. And I also, this morning, I did some strength and conditioning, and I did not fuel properly from then until the class. So I know that's why I got 2.5 rounds in and I got burnt, and I needed to remove that weight. So I didn't fuel properly before class.
Yeah. And sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
And, we want to recover as good as we can in between sessions and workouts and stuff. But every now and then, if you're under recovered between a workout or something, that's okay. What we're trying to avoid is from it happening all the time.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you're constantly under recovered, constantly not feeling good, like, that's an issue. But every now and then, if majority of the time it's like, no, I'm focusing on recovery, and like every now and then life happens.
Yeah.
And, maybe I didn't eat or hydrate correctly between my sessions. It's like, that's okay. But it's like, if that's your norm, not okay. And it's just a matter of time before you get injured, burnout, like something like that.
Yeah.
That's like, we can dive real deep into that, which I kind of do want to do. But before we do, let's get to know Eddie a little bit more. Just a little bit. So you've been doing CrossFit for, what do you say, like a year and a half?
About 2 years.
About 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you start here at Mob?
Yes. So my very first time doing CrossFit was here at Mob. I got introduced to CrossFit through a friend, and he kind of introduced me to it. And I don't think he really understood what CrossFit was.
So your friend was doing CrossFit that introduced you to it? Like, was he actually going to a CrossFit gym?
Yeah. He was coming here.
He was coming here. Okay.
He was coming here. And looking back now and looking at some of the videos that we made together, it really clicked that we didn't understand what CrossFit means with the methodology.
Gotcha.
Because I specifically remember a video of us, that trend of we're so-and-so, and so we can do this, or we're so-and-so. It was, we're so-and-so, or we do CrossFit so we can eat whatever we want.
Oh, yeah. I remember those trends on TV.
Yeah. So looking back now, it's like we didn't understand what CrossFit actually meant, the methodology. And once I actually started realizing that nutrition is super important, that really, it opened up my eyes to my business that I've got going, my fitness, CrossFit in general. But that I went on a tangent. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's why we're here. Just chat it up.
Yeah.
So you've been doing CrossFit about 2 years.
Yeah.
And I want to talk a little bit more about that. But did you play sports growing up? Have you always been like active into exercise, or like does that come naturally to you, or did you stumble upon it, or like?
So my fitness journey, right? So I played soccer all growing up. I played rec growing up, so not select, not super fancy soccer, just regular soccer. And then I ended up playing for my high school. And the very first time I went to a weight room was in high school as a senior.
Oh, cool.
And I could barely bench the bar. That's
okay.
where it started.
Everyone starts somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. After high school, it was college, and my roommates and I, we would go to the gym every now and then, and we were young, and we would just bro lift all. And what ended up happening is I got a little injured, my buddy got a little injured, we kind of stopped for a while, and so 8 years later, I went back to the gym because I gained a bunch of weight. I didn't do anything. I wasn't active in any shape or form. And so kind of got back in shape and again got hurt with the same issue that I had. And I just stopped. And
what was the issue you were having?
Uh, at the time, I didn't know what it was, but it's tennis elbow essentially, and probably like a shoulder injury. And so
And this was all prior to CrossFit.
All prior, years and years and years prior. And then I would, yeah. So second time around, I leaned out a little bit or got more muscle, and I saw some results, and I was like, okay, cool, done. Plus the injury, I was like, all right, it's fine. So I've kind of gone through this cycle of not working out for years, doing it again, and then just stopping, whether because it's an injury or because life happened. Once I found CrossFit in like the community side and the social side and the fun, like working out is fun. Like I'm enjoying
it. Can be.
I'm not sure if you saw me. You saw me after that workout. But I do enjoy being like doing physical things. I just never realized it. That wow, I really enjoy hiking. Wow, I really enjoy almost dying in a workout. Like, and there's other people suffering with me, and there's a whole community side, and I've found friends doing CrossFit.
Yeah,
and I've found a passion for not just fitness. I've found a passion for myself. I've found a passion for life. I've found it's opened up my eyes to so many things. And I owe it all to CrossFit and honestly also to you.
You don't owe me anything. I always tell people like I just show you guys the door, you walk through it. I provide a platform for you to get all your success. I just lead you in a direction. You guys do it, so you do all the work. But thanks.
Yeah, and that's actually what I was telling somebody yesterday. Is she asked me, how quickly can you see results? Mm-hmm. I was like, well, everyone's a little bit different. It's up to you. It's your the effort that you put in, you're gonna get out.
And it depends on what you define as results. I think a lot of general population are like, how much weight am I going to lose? Like, when am I going to lean out? And it's like, well, results come in all different like shapes and sizes. So it could be weight loss, it could be body fat percentage loss, muscle gain,
mental health.
Yeah, it could be mental health, it could be performance, you're getting stronger faster. So there's a lot of things you can measure when it comes to results. So that's a very broad term, but
yeah,
that's what we see in the fitness industry is and especially nowadays with technology and AI and stuff, it's like we're impatient and we want information and we want answers and results now. And yes. And unfortunately with health and fitness, it's like, yeah, to be honest, it's like you'll probably notice the results within the first couple of weeks, but they're going to be really subtle. And you're going to, if you stick with it in 6 months, you're going to notice quite a bit of results, and in a year, quite a bit, in 2 years, a lot. And before you know it, you look back after you've been doing this consistently for a couple of years, you're not even going to like really recognize the person that you saw in the mirror a couple of years ago. Yeah. But that happens through consistency and time. And
time.
You're such a testament. You've gotten really good results doing this. So much so that people take notice. Like I notice, the coaches obviously we notice, but other members are noticing. People are just talking about it. And so, when you first started CrossFit, like were you doing this 5 days a week, or did you kind of start doing it a couple times a week and then like?
It was a couple times a week. I wasn't consistent, and there was a period when I stopped, and I thought, oh, I'm getting busy with work, life, whatever it is, and I didn't prioritize it. And at before that, it was like about 3 times a week, maybe. I wasn't consistent
Yeah.
about it though.
That happens. Like I see it happen all the time. And consistency is key to results. And just for people out there to level with them, like we're humans and we go through the same stuff that everyone goes through. Exercise is hard, consistency is hard, results are hard, but we're here trying to do it. And what was like I guess the mental shift for you that went from like kind of that like 3-ish day a week inconsistency to like wherever you personally noticed where it's like, what, I'm going to commit to this
Yeah,
and I'm going 4 or 5 plus times a week.
it was Wadapalooza. I saw.
Is that when I went with you guys?
It was a time after that.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It was the second time, and I really actually, yeah, because I wasn't being consistent before, and then Wadapalooza happened, and then after that, that's when I think you and I also clicked a little bit too, but also like I saw the level of fitness and like what people looked like. So CrossFit to me at the time was, oh, I can get in shape. I can get into the best shape of my life. Look at these people. They're like, yeah, the pros are here, but like the everyday people are here too. And I was just like blown away. I was like, okay, like this is something I need to try. And so once I saw that, it was about the physicality. It was just about aesthetic. But the more I've done CrossFit, it's not that. To me, what I show, like what my body looks like, is a afterthought of what CrossFit does, because it's given me so much more than just what I look like.
Yeah.
Like that's what has really kind of changed my mindset. Is I, I came in to look good, but now I'm feeling good, and that matters to me more.
Yeah. That's like, I always say that's a side effect of doing CrossFit when you do it correctly. 5-ish times a week is, yeah, like we all want to look good, but usually what I find with people that do CrossFit on a regular basis is like we're kind of less concerned with how we look and we're more concerned with performance.
Yeah.
And a side effect of performing well, especially in CrossFit, is you're just going to look a certain way. So you're going to start to be lean and little, like not bulky, but like, have some muscle definition.
Mm-hmm.
And, I always say you can pick CrossFitters out of a crowd because like the person, male, female, whatever, they just look fit. Like they don't look huge and bulky and they don't look like skinny and lean. Like they just look like, you look at them, you're like, that person just looks fit. Like they
Mm-hmm.
look like they could probably lift some weights and they can probably run for a while and like do some pull-ups. Like they just look fit.
Yeah.
And usually if you were like, I bet you either do CrossFit or high intensity interval training and you're going to 9 out of 10 times probably be right.
Yeah.
And so like I've gotten to a point I can usually pick CrossFitters out of a crowd because it's like you just look fit. And then there's like the telltale giveaways. That's like the shoes, or like if they're wearing like
The brands,
like a Rogue shirt or something,
yeah.
or you're just like, you probably definitely CrossFit. But like that's the goal of CrossFit, like methodology CrossFit. The goal, you can read this in your level 1 hand guide or whatever, is the goal of CrossFit is to increase work capacity across broad time and modal domains. And essentially all that's saying is our goal is to increase our ability to just be more fit, to move loads, large loads, distances faster, whatever, like to be able to keep moving under duress or have good cardiovascular endurance, good strength, good power, like all the 10 general physical skills. And that's really the goal of CrossFit. So if you're really doing CrossFit according to the methodology, your focus is not how you look, your focus is performance.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like I did a workout 6 months ago and it took me this amount of time. I'm going to retest today, 6 months later, and maybe I've gotten better. And if your time is better or whatever is better, like that is an indication you're getting results. Even if your body doesn't look a ton different, wow, I went faster than I did 6 months ago. Like this must be working. And that's what I love about CrossFit is the focus is not on how you look, where it's like a lot of other exercise modalities, bodybuilding, whatever. It's like the focus is kind of trying to look a certain way.
Yeah.
With CrossFit, it's just like I'm going to look a certain way because of what I'm doing, because I'm doing constantly varied functional movements performed at high intensity. I'm doing pull-ups, I'm doing deadlifts, I'm doing lunges, I'm doing squats, I'm running, I'm lunging or jumping, like whatever. I'm doing all these things that are just going to develop a certain body type.
Yeah.
And fortunately for us, it's kind of a good aesthetic. Like it looks good. It's lean, it's muscly,
Yeah.
it's not too bulky. It's not like, it just looks good.
Yeah.
Like,
And honestly, like, I don't want to be, standing in front of a mirror or in a large room, like posing,
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 doing the lat
posing,
spread.
posing. And it just doesn't feel like something I want to do, or I don't want to get onto a stage for people to judge my physique.
Oh my gosh. You want to talk about CrossFit gets a bad rap of saying it's dangerous. You want to talk what's actually dangerous?
There was
Competing in shows and bodybuilding. And the reason why is because leading up to a show, the level of like malnutrition and you're like near death, like your body's shutting down because you're dehydrated, you aren't eating enough food. Like you literally, there are bodybuilders that regularly pass out, have cardiovascular events, stuff like that, because leading up to that show, they're literally starving and not drinking water and to get the leanest look possible. And in order to do that,
it's unhealthy.
your body's starting to shut down. You're getting closer to death than we'd like you to. And that's bodybuilding by itself is fine. It's like if you're not concerned about doing shows and stuff, and you're just eating good and just lifting, it's like that's fine. Maybe throwing some cardio, it's good for your heart. But
that's what
competing is the dangerous part. And even in CrossFit, competing is the more dangerous part. CrossFit by itself is, I will die on this hill. I own a CrossFit gym. It's the best way to be healthy and fit on the planet. Just CrossFit. CrossFit competition's different, and people need to learn to separate them. Otherwise, that's where they start to get confused, or you see fake news or stuff that's like CrossFit's dangerous, blah, 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 blah. A, it's not. B, you're probably talking about CrossFit competition, not just CrossFit. And it is absolutely not dangerous. But, preaching to the choir here.
Right. Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's only dangerous if you're not taking the right direction. You're overloading, your weight there's a weight that you think you want to hit. Well, maybe not that day, maybe not the next day. Eventually, the thing is, it's time. Everything takes time and consistency. If you're not putting in that effort, you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
And if you're not being smart, listening to your body, doing things you shouldn't be doing, it's just a matter of whether it's CrossFit, running, whatever. Like you're eventually going to get hurt if you're doing things that are beyond your current level too frequently. It's like it's okay every now and then to test your capacity, your quote unquote limits. You have a 1 rep max day. We're testing like what's your max bench press? Like I don't know. Like well, let's test it. Okay, that's appropriate every now and then, but it's not. You shouldn't be doing that every day. And if you do, and if you're just constantly going to failure on like heavy lifts and stuff, it's just a matter of time before your body starts to break down. And that's where, being smart about it comes into play. And that's where the difference between just being a CrossFitter and being a CrossFit competitor come in is like, and we can kind of dive down that rabbit hole too. But real quick, just to finish up your CrossFit journey so far. So after Wadapalooza, you got inspired, which is cool. I always get inspired by going to the events, the games. I've been to the games several times and been to Wadapalooza. And like, it's just always so inspiring to see the fit competitors, but even just the crowd. Everyone's like, CrossFit's like trauma bonding, I swear, where it's like, it's really hard, but that's why it works. And so when you're in the middle of a workout and it feels like, all the check engine lights in the body are kind of going off, the heart rate's high, the breathing's high, the muscles are on fire. You're like, holy crap. And you look over, you're just like, and you look over and somebody's got the same look on their face. You're just like, okay, yeah, all right.
What's cool?
Back to work.
It's like when you go to the games, it's like you're watching an NFL game, right?
Yeah.
These guys are the top athletes in the sport. And what's cool is that you can try and find out what that weight feels like, what that workout feels like, and you can realize how much it takes to get to that level. And realize like, oh, okay, like I have a lot of work to do, or it's one of those things like you understand what it, or how do I put this? It's hard to replicate playing an NFL game, right?
Mm.
But it's you can easily replicate a workout so you can see what that looks like, what that feels like. And that's where that kind of trauma bonding, that
Yeah.
empathy of I know what that 225 feels like after after a bunch of pull-ups or
Yeah.
something like.
That's where that community aspect comes into play, like with all of CrossFit, not just CrossFit gyms and CrossFit methodology, but also competitive CrossFit and the sport of CrossFit. Is there's that bonding because we've all done thrusters and pull-ups and deadlifts and stuff. So even though theirs might be heavier or whatever, or even sometimes the games athletes will be doing a workout we could definitely do, they're just crushing it. Like they're
Right.
way faster than we would probably go. So it's like you get that level of appreciation and understanding that's like, wow, if I were to do that, it would take me this long, or I'd have to break that up. And these people are not breaking it up and they're going very fast. You're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And I always
Running
say, like,
Isabel was actually really cool.
oh my God, that was harder than it looked, because we did that here
Yeah.
the week or two after the games. We did a games workout here, and didn't look too bad. But then when you do it, you're just like, holy crap. And then the girls are finishing like way fast. Like, and I was talking about, I could try to do it with like Tia Claire Toomey's weight, which for me is lighter, but she probably still would have beat me. Like, it's like, that's how fast they are.
Yeah.
And like, it's just ridiculous.
Wild.
And you don't appreciate it. Like when it comes to sports, the closer you get to being at that high level, the more you appreciate how hard it is to get there, because it's like you see the amount of work you've already put in, and it's like, I'm still not even like top tier or whatever. And like, it just takes so much work and dedication and time. And, you have to be able to plan well, and you start to recognize like, damn, these people have put in so much work, and they're also kind of just freaks in nature. Like not only are they working really hard and recovering hard and blah blah blah, but they're also just kind of freaks. Like, to be able to be as strong as they are and fast as they are, and like, you're just like, you look at someone that can, deadlift close to 600 pounds, back squat close to 500 pounds. You're like, damn, that person's strong. They probably can't run. It's like, no, they can run like a 5-minute mile. You're like, Jesus.
Dude.
You're like, okay, like these people are nuts. And it's like, professional athletes, NFL, NHL,
Yeah.
MLS, whatever. Like, they're just kind of freaks. Like, you're so stupid good that, like, a lot of people will look at CrossFit, from the outside looking in, that, a lot of people that don't do CrossFit don't have a good, he's got the bug zapper. We got some flies flying around. They don't, because CrossFit's not as mainstream as like these big sports or whatever, they don't have an understanding. So, some people will talk about, oh, we do CrossFit. And they're like, oh, like the people on the TV. I'm like, no, those are professional athletes. Like, not like them. Like, we do what they do, just very dialed back or what have you. And where we only do one workout a day, these are doing like 4 or 5 at least when they're at the games. And it's just, it's funny, but at the same time, it's humbling when you actually know when, professionals make it look easy. So, CrossFit, same thing. Professional CrossFitters, they're out there crushing a workout, and they've learned to be very calm in their face and methodical with their movements, and so it looks easy because the way they're so composed.
Yeah.
It looks easy. And then you're like out there watching them, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. And then you go try that workout, and you're gonna like triple their time, if not more, and you're just like, okay, like, this is so hard, and they just absolutely destroyed it. And that's part of the bonding we get through CrossFit. Is like, we get to do the same workouts as the high levels. And one of the really cool things about CrossFit is, like, a lot of gyms are known for their, like, games athletes will hop into class, because constantly varied functional movement performed at high intensity can be done in or outside of class, even if you're a games athlete. And that's kind of the really cool thing that I'm a big advocate of, is like, just because you're a competitor, you should still take class. It's CrossFit, and CrossFit will get you more fit. You don't have to do special workouts to become a high level of fitness. Like, that is absolutely not true. You just need to do constantly varied functional movement performed at high intensity, which is CrossFit class. And so it's really cool when you get these high level competitors taking the same class as you, or as, Susan, who just started. And it's like, yeah, she might be using a light barbell or PVC and whatever, but like, right next to her is a games athlete using a ton of weight and doing, the more technical movements, but they're working out in the same class right next to each other, doing essentially the same movements. And it's, it's a really cool thing to witness as a coach, but also as a person in class. Like, it's really cool to be a part of that too. That's like, oh my God, I get to work out next to this person.
And
like,
the other part of that is, like, sometimes people are in their heads about it, right? They're like, oh, especially at the gym. Oh, I'm not really, people are looking at me, whatever. In a CrossFit class, no one's looking, I mean, other than the coach, no one really cares what you're doing as long as you're trying hard.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
So the games athlete next to, the mom who's, two kids, has two kids and just trying to stay fit for her life and for her kids' lives, that's what matters, is just not worrying what it looks like, what other people are thinking. It's as long as you're trying as hard as you can so you can have a better life.
Yeah. And everyone's end goal is different. If your end goal is like, I'm just here to, try to be fit, to stave off disease and, try to be healthy as I get older, perfect. And then you might have someone right next to you. It's like, hey, my goal is to go to the CrossFit Games. And it's like, cool, we're in the same class. We have different goals, but we can manage to actually be doing a very similar workout with a very similar stimulus for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you just might, if you're a games athlete, you just might need more weight or whatever. But it's still, you're going to get a very good workout, good stimulus. And then your games athlete's going to be doing some stuff outside of class, obviously, like focus training, skill training, strength training, stuff like that. But that's where the community in CrossFit comes into play. That, like, I think a lot of people, once they experience it, you're just like, wow, there's something special about this. And like, that's it. It's like from the highest level to the beginner, it's like we're all in this together.
Yeah.
And like, there's nothing quite like that. It's just really cool. It's a really cool feeling. That's just part of the community vibe, not even all of it. And it's just a cool feeling.
Yeah.
Or it's like, that's the coolest part about going to the games or Wadapalooza and stuff, is like, you know, you in the crowd, if you do CrossFit, and them out there on the floor, everyone understands like each other and what's happening.
Yeah.
And we're just like that. It makes you cheer even harder for something because you're like, you understand how hard that is or whatever. And it's a really cool level of bonding that gets to take place with worldwide CrossFit. And then you have your local gym community, which adds on top of that as well. Um, so you've gotten really good results with CrossFit. Like, you've lost weight, body fat, noticeably, that everyone's like, damn, Eddie's like lean out, he's looking strong or whatever. So you started doing CrossFit about 4 or 5 times a week. And then did your nutrition regimen like start right with that, or did it kind of follow shortly thereafter? Or like, when did nutrition start to, when did you realize how important nutrition was to results?
I think it was, I knew that I was like cutting certain things back. I had stopped smoking. I had smoked for 20 years.
Nice.
And my grandfather actually died of lung cancer
Oh, wow.
at 40. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. So that's, talking about staying off, disease. My mom also has MS. And so like, that's always in the back of my mind. Um, but once the nutrition, like I was cutting things out, and I didn't realize I had already, like, my body had made some kind of transformation until I was like out and about, and this drunk lady was like, "Oh my God, look at you. You're so strong." And I was like, "What the, why, what?"
What?
And she just kind of kept it going. I was like, "Oh, maybe like what I'm doing really is making a change." Because at that time, I was cutting back. I stopped drinking sodas. I really just kind of cut back on the amount of carbs I was getting. I upped the amount of protein I was eating. No fast food. If I did eat burgers, it was, a lettuce wrap with no cheese. And now, I've kind of scaled back so much, and I am super lean, but now the trouble I'm having is getting stronger. And with that is the amount of food I have to eat. So I have to start eating a whole lot more. So every time I eat, I'm eating quite a bit. So I haven't started, have in the past, I've counted calories, and it, it's not fun. It, it bogs you down. Nobody really enjoys doing it. But what I've learned from the past, I just applied to now, and just fueled good whole foods. Nothing I wasn't. We're not trying to eat as much processed foods or anything. But then I got some kind of recognition out of a random person, And now I was like, oh, there is a difference. So let me just maintain this, be consistent with it, make sure I'm going into class, and let me see what else I can do. Because I felt good about myself, that a random person was like, wow, you look fit.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't feel fit.
Yeah. Well, that's like, it's just a testament that all your hard work is starting to pay off.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think in the moment, you see yourself every day. It's hard to recognize. Change is so subtle when it's done correctly, especially fitness change. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
And it takes consistency and time. And so, you see yourself every day. So like, it's hard to notice change when you're looking at yourself every day, even though you are changing. But then, if you look back at a picture 6 months, a year ago or something, you will definitely see the change. Or you get stuff like that, where it's like all of a sudden, just randomly, somebody's like, damn, you look fair, you look strong. You're like, oh, wow.
Me?
You're like, okay, thanks. Like, cool.
Yeah.
Me? Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's kind of
have that like imposter syndrome where it's like, me? Are you sure? Are you talking to the right person?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
But it's cool. And it's like, that's, there's a saying that says, results help fuel motivation. And I'm a big believer that you can't rely on motivation to be successful, especially with fitness and exercise. Otherwise you won't be, because there are plenty of days you're just not going to be motivated and like you just need to go. But motivation helps.
Yep.
And if you can find a way to up your motivation, perfect. And if getting results helps motivation, perfect. Like, that's even better. Let's look at those results. Wow, I'm getting compliments, or I'm noticing a difference. I'm even a little bit more motivated to continue this hard work I've been putting in, because it is hard work. Working out 5 times a week, eating good, trying to focus on recovery and resting is hard. It's if it was easy, everyone would be healthy and fit.
Yeah.
And majority of the world and population, especially in the US, are not. They're actually the opposite. And so it is hard. And so, I recognize that, you recognize that. And so any little bit of motivation we can get to help us is good. But at the end of the day, what it really comes down to, and I think you understand this, is it doesn't matter if you're motivated, if you're tired, if you don't feel great, if I'm unhappy, depressed, it doesn't matter. My routine is I go to the gym.
Yep.
I don't care how I feel, I go. And that's what breeds success, is stacking those consistency, those days where it's like, hey, I felt great today, I feel okay, the next day I feel terrible, feel great, feel terrible, whatever. And it's kind of, whatever. It doesn't matter how I feel, I'm here.
Yep.
It is my job too. But before that, I was also the same way. And so it's like, I don't care how I feel, I'm going. And like, it's just part of my day. Just kind of like how going to work is part of people's day. It's like, that's just part of my day. And whether or not I want to go, I'm going. And that's how we're going to get results.
The days that I know that I don't really want to come in, I still show up for class. What helps me also get through it is the people in class, because I will say, I'm not really feeling it today, or I don't really want to RX it, or I'm going to keep it light. And then someone in class will say, come on, man, you can do it. Like, that motivation in class, the community part, again, like, we're just pushing each other. I mean, it doesn't have to be go hard all the time. Yeah. It's, hey, I think you can do that. Come on, let's just add like 5 more, 10 more, whatever it is. And, Maleth is one of those people where she's like,
she's great.
You can do it. Like, she's definitely helped me on those days where I felt unmotivated.
Yeah. Well, and if you want to be successful, what makes you don't have to have this, but what will make it a higher chance of success, and it'll be a little bit easier, is surrounding yourself with like-minded people.
Yeah.
And one of our core values, and this is just life in general, is you should surround yourself with people who help build you up and support your goals, rather than people who say nothing or tear you down, which is, you might run into that. But like, core value, we're community. That's a big one. That gets results, that works hard, and the last one, that supports each other.
Yeah.
And that's a huge one. It's like, if you don't have that, it's really hard to be successful. And I like the saying from raising kids, it's like, it takes a village. But it's the same thing with being fit and having a community of people that are working hard. It's like, it takes a village. And the more people you have that are supporting this hard work, supporting your goals, the more likely you're going to be successful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's really helpful to have that in, in class, and people that's like, that are helping you along the way. That's like, I just don't, I just don't feel like doing it today. I don't feel great or whatever. And then, you'll have
Dobbs, you got it, man. Come on, man. Let's do it.
You got this, brother. You know what? I do got it.
Yeah.
You're right. And, there's a difference between lacking motivation and feeling tired and then convincing yourself or being motivated to like, okay, let's kind of turn it on a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a difference between I'm like hurt, overly sore, I haven't slept in a few days. You should probably just take it easy or take a break. And there is a difference. So you have to learn to be mature and recognize that. Like, it's not okay if your body's being freaking pushed into the ground and people are like, keep going, keep going. You're just like, okay, like, be smart about it. But what we're getting at is that motivation through external sources and people, like-minded people, can be very helpful.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. You'll get a lot of that in most of your CrossFit gyms. And if you don't have it in your current CrossFit gym, find one that does, because
it's out there.
They're out there.
Yeah.
And it should be like that. You should have people around you that are, that are in your corner.
Yeah.
Because the people outside of this CrossFit gym probably aren't in your corner, because misery loves company, just is what it is. And, majority of people don't exercise. They don't want to eat healthy. They don't want to focus on recovery and sleep. And so when you're doing it, they don't really support it because it makes them feel bad about themselves, which is something I've realized being in this for as long as I have. It's like the people that don't support you isn't because they wish you ill, isn't because they don't want you to get results. It's because they know you. They're like, I know Eddie, I grew up with him, whatever, and he's just quote unquote a normal guy.
Yeah.
And he's managed to dial himself in and be dedicated and consistent with something, and he's gotten great results. And you know what? I could probably do that too. I just choose not to. So instead of acknowledging that, this is my personal emotions that I'm kind of feeling a certain way about, I'm just either not going to pay any attention to Eddie, or I might even like talk trash behind his back. Like, oh, this guy's just all he cares about is the gym and fitness and blah, 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 blah.
He's just posting pictures of himself naked on
the
internet.
Yeah. Whatever. I mean, I get it all, trust me. So it's like, cool. Well, you know what? I'm going to continue to do this, and you continue to not move and eat good. And let me know how you feel when you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s. And I'll let you know how I feel. And who knows? I don't know the future, but what I do know is I'm giving myself a higher percentage or chance to be healthy as I get older.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm going to go for.
And honestly, too, like, if we're talking about motivation, like, I started posting some workouts, some pictures, some videos, and it helped me motivate myself to see me pushing. But then also, what happened is the people in my friends list started messaging me, and I reconnected with some old friends, and they're like, dude, you're doing great, you're doing this, like. And then we started having conversations about nutrition. We started having conversations about workouts, about CrossFit, about the type of workouts they're doing. And just, again, CrossFit is building a community for me outside of CrossFit. Like,
imagine that.
Again, everything that I have right now is because of CrossFit. And the last, 8 months have just been really tough financially speaking, and it's been hard. And the only thing that has kept me going is CrossFit. And I have the internal motivation and all that stuff, but I found a consistency and a drive that I didn't think I had.
Which is so cool, and why I love CrossFit and why I own a CrossFit gym, and I will do this for the rest of my life. And I 100% believe it's the best way to be healthy and fit on the planet. And then it has other benefits, the community side of it, the things that you're just like, wow, I've never experienced something like that. And it's just really cool. And
it's helped my mental
man, if you
health
haven't tried
so
CrossFit or found a good CrossFit gym, like, go find one. Like, it could be the best thing that ever happened to you. And it was the best thing that happened to me, like fitness wise, mental health wise, as far as like exercise results, all that stuff. And I coach this and I own a gym and stuff because my hope is that someone can maybe run into CrossFit the same way I ran into it and feel the same way about it that I feel. And clearly it seems like it's working, whether it's one person or 100 people or 1,000 people or whatever. I don't really care.
There's a few of us here.
It's kind of like human nature is, if you find something good, you want to share it with people. And that's how I feel. I found something great and I just want to share it with people.
Yeah.
And like if you find a really good, like, I'm having a hard time thinking of an example, but you find a really good like cake recipe. It's like, you're just like, let me share this. This was really good. Like everyone, like check this out. This was so good. Same thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, hey, I found this, and it's been kind of one of the better things that's happened in my life. Like check it out. Like
Yeah.
I hope you maybe like it the way I do, but I try not to be forceful with it because everyone has to have their own journey. And it's hard when you're on the outside looking in to be like, oh my god, you need to do it. It's gonna be the best thing that ever happened to you, blah blah blah. And then they're just like, what? And it's like, no, just go do it. And then
Yeah.
eventually you get sucked into it, and you're like, wow, this is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's been it's one of the best. Like, how I know I love CrossFit and coaching CrossFit is when I come to class to work out or when I'm coaching.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not in a great mood when I get here, I'm always in a better mood when I'm done. And that's working out or coaching. And that's how I know I love it. And like I was talking about this with my wife, that was like not too long ago, like literally a few weeks ago. It's like, how I know I love this stuff and I'm doing what like I truly love. It's like I'll not be in a good mood and like go to coach CrossFit class. And after coaching, I'm like in a better mood, which is like weird. How many people can say, like, I'm not in a great mood and then I go to work and when I get done with work, I'm in a better mood? And like, I don't know how many people out there can say that, but I'm very blessed. And, you guys, the community here, all the members, like, it's just such a blessing. And I truly love this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that, we have the opportunity to share it and that people can run into some really cool stuff and, start doing CrossFit, which is not just the workouts, but
Right.
nutrition and recovery. And if you're not doing all three, you're not doing CrossFit, at least the methodology way. You might be doing CrossFit workouts,
Yeah.
but you're not doing actual CrossFit. And once you start doing CrossFit, the methodology, which is doing high intensity or high intensity, constantly varied
Yep.
functional movements for high intensity about 5 times a week. Sorry, I was having a brain fart. Focusing on your eating, which the CrossFit prescription for eating is very simple. The execution isn't simple, it's hard, but the prescription is simple. Eat meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar. Keep intake levels to that which support exercise but not body fat. And then just make sure you're recovering enough to support results and to make sure that you're feeling good enough for your next workout session,
Yep.
next day or so.
Yep.
And if you do all three of those things, you're going to feel the best you've ever felt in your life. You're going to look the best you've ever looked in your life. And it's going to be the best way to stave off chronic disease, prescription medication, doctor's visits, everything. And just a testament to this, I'm not trying to like, peace out, Randy. I'm not trying to like brag or anything, like, but just a testament is I do this 5-ish times a week. And, I focus on my eating. I'm not perfect, but I do eat decent. And I really try to sleep at least 8 hours a night. I just had all my blood work done and everything came back like really good.
Nice.
Which I shouldn't be surprised. I was like looking at all my results and I was like, oh wow. I was like, great. And you just get nervous because you don't know. Like
Yeah.
I don't do my blood work that often. I think it's the first time I've done it in a long time. And it's like, oh, I hope everything's good. I'm getting older and stuff. Nope. Cholesterol's good. A1C, like all of that was good. Like I'm in the best level. I qualified for the highest tier of life insurance. That's why I had it in the first place. And I'm just like, man, it feels really good to have your hard work pay off.
Yeah.
And that's how I know this stuff works. It's like, I just do it and I believe in it. And then, wow, look, when it comes to actually testing the results or the blood work, it's like, yeah, you're in really great health. And it's like, well, I shouldn't be surprised.
That's fair. Yeah.
And so it works. If you do it correctly, it works. I'm not saying I do it 100% correctly, but I do focus on doing this as correct as I can for being a human in my lifestyle.
Yeah.
And if you do the same, you don't have to be perfect, but just be consistent. You can get the best results you've ever had in your life, feel the best you've ever felt, and qualify for the highest tiers of life insurance that you've ever gotten. So the best rate is what you'll get.
Yeah. Don't diet, change the way you eat. Period.
Yeah, like diet's a rough term. I don't like that term because it's like, you should be eating in a way that you can eat the rest of your life. And dieting doesn't, that word kind of is the opposite of that. Where it's like I'm eating a certain way for a certain amount of time for a certain goal. And it's like, no, we should be eating in a way that we could eat like this the rest of your life. And if you can't do this the rest of your life, whether it's eating, exercise, rest, sleep, it's not good for you. And so we just need to do things that we could do the rest of our lives. And you can train CrossFit the rest of your life We have all ages and shapes and sizes. You can eat this way the rest of your life. You should. It's good for you. And if you focus on getting at least, I would say 7 to 9, but at least 8 hours of sleep a night, you're going to be doing really good. Does that
Easier
mean
said
you're
than done.
not going to fall into disease and stuff? No, but it means your chances are way less,
Yep.
which is nice. I like my odds. So let's go ahead and let's do that. Well, Eddie, I don't like to keep these too long, but I do want to talk about maybe one more topic or two. So you recently started like competing in CrossFit,
Yeah.
and like Eddie's caught the competing bug,
Yeah.
where like this guy's signing up for I swear to God, every time I turn around, he's like, "Oh, I got a comp this week," and I'm like, "Jesus!" I'm like, "Okay," but what I will tell you and what I've said about that is, when you're bit by that bug, especially when you're first starting, I think competing a bunch in the first year or so is okay because it's like I've just started. I'm really enjoying this, but as you start to progress and get better, I think the goals will start to change from like I just want to do this comp to eventually like I want to win, and then it's like now we need to kind of be strategic about when we're going to compete so we can make sure our training cycles we're peaking towards competition. But right now,
That I don't understand.
that's okay,
Yeah.
and so you're in the journey, and that's part of it. And right now you're really just enjoying competing, which is fine. Competing is really fun.
Yeah.
Stressful. It's fun though. It is really fun. I do it. I miss doing it. I'm gonna get back out there real soon. This guy's getting a lot better. And trust me, I've been bit by that bug. But you can compete too much. But like when it's new to you,
Yeah.
I wouldn't stress too much about it. Just make sure your body's feeling good and healthy, and that you're enjoying yourself and having a good time. But like when it comes to competition, what do you think the main difference you notice with your training is, like when it's like maybe before you started being competitive with CrossFit,
Mm-hmm.
just coming to class, it's like I'm doing whatever, and then how has your training or mindset changed once you've kind of decided that's like, hey, I kind of want to dabble in CrossFit competition?
I think it was my early, um, I guess, access to the events. And so I would often have to work events. And so I would watch people every weekend compete at some place or some event. And it really just, it kind of put that in the back of my head. That's like, oh, you don't have to be a games athlete. You don't have to be the RX best athlete in the gym to compete. You can just go and push yourself. Because if I'm pushing myself here in the gym, well then I might as well push myself in competition. Because you're a competitive person no matter what, right? Because you're playing video games, you're looking at the leaderboard, you're playing, you're at the stoplight and a car next to you revs their engine.
Oh, we're going for pinks.
Yeah. There's always a level of competition to something, and because I grew up playing soccer, I've always had that drive of being competitive, and I've never had it outside of soccer and video games. Like that's it. And so being able to tie my fitness, my, just enjoying a weekend, enjoying a day with some friends. I get to do a competition, a few workouts in some hours, and I get to have a big juicy burger afterwards or something, or pizza I've been wanting, or something. Um, but like the mindset has been, I get to compete again in something that I enjoy. And as an adult, I never really had an opportunity to enjoy competition.
Hmm.
So whether it's scaled RX or pro or whatever, I'm enjoying competing because I've always enjoyed competing from as a little kid. So now I get to do it as an adult. And I think that, I don't know, something's just clicked.
Yeah. No, I love it too. I'm the
Yeah.
same way. So
Yeah.
like it's not for everyone, but like if you have a competitive bone in your body, A, just coming to CrossFit class, you can get some of that if you want it. And B, once you start competing in CrossFit, well, it's there. And the cool thing about CrossFit is they have age divisions all the way up to 65 plus in the games. So it's like you can compete at any stage of life that you're pretty much in. And these 65-year-olds are doing bar muscle ups and stuff. They're crushing it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But um, if you have that competitive itch, or maybe you haven't competed in a long time and you're just like, wow, like I
Miss
really
this.
enjoyed it. Like I
Yeah.
missed it. I enjoy it. Like it is cool. And it's a cool thing to run into, especially later in life. That's like, you can still have that. I think so many times we get caught up with like once you're a certain age, you can't do stuff, or once you're an adult, you don't
Once you
compete
hit
anymore.
40,
Yeah.
you
And
know,
it's
or
just like,
it's all downhill after 21.
oh my God. This is what we were talking about the other night, that like I could talk forever about that. I get frustrated about that. That's like, I don't know if frustration is the right word, but it's not true. It's lies. Society is telling you lies to give you excuses to be just sedentary and overweight and out of shape, and it needs to stop. We've started to debunk this. It just people need to stop using excuses. They're all excuses, because like I used to hear, oh, just wait until you're in your 20s, your metabolism's going to slow down. Oh, wait till you're in your mid 20s. Wait till you're in your 30s. Okay, here I am.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's changed. My body composition looks better than it ever has, and I'm eating a lot of food. Like, I'm not eating less, I'm eating more than I ate when I was younger.
Yeah.
Just more of the right stuff. And all right, wait till you're in your mid 30s. Okay, done that. Wait till you're 40. I'm almost 40. Same. Eating more than I've ever eaten. Body composition is great. Overall health biomarkers are great. Metabolism hasn't slowed down. And
Why is that?
let me ask you a question. Do you think I'm a genetic anomaly?
Mm.
Or do you think it's because I haven't slowed down, which is the actual truth, which I get frustrated with in life? It's like these are all just excuses for everyone out there to be okay with being sedentary, to be okay with being out of shape, to be okay with being overweight, to be okay with getting on prescription medication to manage these issues that we have. Is, oh, it's not your fault. It's as you get older, your metabolism just slows down. So like you're going to put on weight, or like you're not going to be able to eat what you want, or like, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like that's all bogus. Now what happened is, as we got older, this is a lot of people's story, it's not mine. As we got older, our life has slowed down. We stopped playing sports, maybe that we played in high school or college. We now have a sedentary job where we're sitting most of the time. We are not as active as we used to be. We're not using our body, our muscles, our joints the way that they're meant to be used. Our calorie intake, our calorie needs aren't as high as they used to be when I was active, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
still eating a high amount of calories, and I'm not eating great food. And now all of a sudden I find myself, my joints are tightening up. I'm starting to gain unwanted weight. I'm not moving that much, so I don't feel great.
Yeah.
I'm not sleeping great. And I'm just going to blame it on genetics, or that I'm just getting older. Don't get me wrong. As I get older, yes, there are things I notice, but it's not metabolism and weight stuff. It's like, oh, my freaking, like, I woke up and my shoulder hurts. And like, what happened? I don't know. I went to sleep and it felt fine.
Yeah.
And now I woke up and it's like,
Slept on it weird.
yeah. And it's like that type of stuff. Yeah, sure. But like, and what I do know is maybe every now and then recovery might take a little longer than when I was younger, but not by much. But it's like these dramatic statements of just excuses for society drive me nuts.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, it's not your fault. It's your age. It's your metabolism. It's okay. It happens to everyone. Or you're just too busy to work out. That's okay.
Yeah.
Is it okay to let your health just fail you? Where
Mm-mm.
it's like, oh wow, now you're on statins and you're on pre-diabetes medications, and you have these doctor's visits, and oh, now you need a heart medication, and now we need to put you on levothyroxine. Like, I used to work in a pharmacy, and like all these medications have side effects. It's
Yeah.
you take it for 6 months, probably not. Take it for a couple of years, absolutely. And that side effect's going to make you take another medication and another one and another one
Mm-hmm.
until you're just on a whole slew of them. And if it's absolutely necessary, yeah, it's good for you. But for most people, the solution for most people is, hey, let's just exercise a little bit, let's eat decent, and let's get some rest. That's all you need to do. And all these problems you're having health wise will probably go away or get better.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we just lie to ourselves, and we lie to society, and we tell people it's okay. It's okay to not work out, and it's okay to be overweight, and it's okay. It's not your fault. But here's what I'm going to tell you, it is your fault. And until you take ownership, it's not going to get better. And sorry, that's blunt. You've gotten results from exercise. Is there any other way?
No.
Is there a shot you could take? Is there some quick fad diet that you can get the results you've gotten?
Not for the rest of your life. There are some shots you can take to take a shortcut, but what happens with shortcuts? It never works out.
They're not actual shortcuts. They're people that don't understand performance enhancing drugs, or peptides, or specifically nowadays these like GLP-1s and semaglutides. People that don't understand there is a price to pay.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be something. There's always, if you're putting something in your body synthetic, or that is some type of medication, there is a listed side effect. There always is. It doesn't matter what it is. You take Tylenol, there's a listed side effect. Apparently it's autism. I'm kidding. But asked my mom, did you take Tylenol when you're pregnant with me? She's like, no, you're just dumb.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a side effect. And sometimes the side effects maybe aren't dramatic or that noticeable. Sometimes they're very noticeable. Side effect of HGH is the muscles grow, the organs also grow. That's where we get that HGH belly. Side effect of taking testosterone is your body stops producing it. So if you get off testosterone, you're going to have very, very low testosterone levels for a while until you work on building them back up, if they ever come back. Side effect of taking your GLP-1s and semaglutides is a lot. Like, we can have pancreatitis, we can have kidney issues, we can have bone density issues. Yeah, I know a girl that took it for a year and she was diagnosed with osteoporosis. She's 28. Right. So there are definitely side effects for this stuff. So are there things that can make it seem like you're getting the results you want in a shorter period of time, or maybe with less overall effort? Sure. But in the long run, are they actually working for your overall health and fitness? No. No, the only thing that's going to work is consistency with exercise, nutrition, sleep, and recovery.
And time. It's not a quick fix. This is for life.
How long have you been doing it? Actually, like doing the 5 days a week, eating decent?
A year, 8 months. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like about a year.
You've gotten results like so quick and noticeable that people have taken a notice, and it's been about between 8 months and a year. I would say probably closer to 10 months. And
but that's because
that's not a short period of time. Most people I talk to are like, oh, like I want to lose 20 pounds in 4 weeks. And I'm just like, that's unrealistic. Not saying it can't be done, and it can't be done the right way. It depends on how much you have to lose, first of all, but like, that's unrealistic. And healthy body weight or healthy weight loss, you can expect a pound a week. And people get discouraged by that. But when it comes to the long game and doing this for actual health, it's like, sure, in 6 weeks, how much weight am I gonna lose in 6 weeks? 6 pounds. And most people are like, oh, gosh, like that's not as much as I was hoping. It's like, okay, but if you did this consistently for a year, and there's 52 weeks in a year, how many pounds are you going to lose in a year?
I'm not going to math.
52.
There you go.
And that's a lot. And so that's where it comes. We're in this for the long haul. And if you're not, I'm sorry, you're just not going to get the results that you want long term. There might be short term results, but they will go away. And I've seen it I've been doing this 17 years, and I've just seen it happen over and over and over again with either people I know, sometimes people in the gym, and unfortunately, sometimes the only way we can learn the lesson is by going through it ourselves. And, my goal and my job is like, I want to help people, like truly help people, like people like you or anyone that's like, once they find the consistency with the exercise, the consistency with the nutrition, the consistency with the rest and sleep, and they're like, wow, this works so good. And like, yes, it's hard work, but man, it works so well and I feel great. It's like, cool. Like, that's all I ever wanted for myself and for you and for anyone. And what I will tell you is anyone can do it. You can do it. I can do it. You all can do it.
You can do it.
So until you're ready to take the ownership and get rid of the excuses, it's just not going to happen. Until you're ready to take the ownership, that's like, I need to make the time. I need to stop making excuses that it's my poor genetics or my age or whatever.
Yep.
I need to stop making the excuses that just because my knee hurts, I can't exercise. Well, you got another knee, you got arms, you got a lot going on. There's a video of a CrossFit girl that does CrossFit that has no arms and no legs. We can pull it up on YouTube.
Dang.
And so I'll, not to make anyone feel bad, but if this girl's doing it and she has no arms and no legs, she's got stubs, and she's able to do CrossFit workouts, what's holding you back?
Sign up today.
So sorry, that's something I'm very passionate about. So I think you can feel my energy coming out in that. It's like, I just get really upset with the shortcuts and
excuses.
And like every now and then I run into people in my life that I love, friends, family, whatever, that end up going down those paths, and it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Because I know in the long term, it's going to actually affect their health negatively. And it's not going to give them the actual results and end goal that they need or want. And if that's you, like, that's okay, but focus on being consistent, doing it for a while, and you're
For a
going to
long
realize
period
it'll
of
be the
time.
best thing that ever happened.
100%.
When it comes to health and fitness, we have to learn to recognize that being healthy and fit for your life is a lifetime journey. It's not something that like, oh wow, hey, you look great, you have a six pack, you could just stop working out.
Yep. Nope.
No, it'll go away and then like you'll fall in. Unfortunately, fitness takes a long time to build and it goes away pretty quick. If you don't work out, like if I don't work out for 2 weeks, like I feel like a slob, but like not only does fitness capacity and strength start to diminish, but you'll start to see it goes away about 5 times faster than it takes to build it. Like it goes away quick.
Mm-hmm.
However, if it's built naturally, it stays longer. So like if you're not using performance enhancing drugs, you've built your capacity, your muscle naturally, it will stay longer. Your body will remember that and get back to that faster if you've fallen out of health and fitness.
Do you think
But
supplements would, like if you stop taking X Endurance, for example? Like, so I'm taking X Endurance to help me keep pushing through. And I've absolutely noticed a difference. And now I've been taking it for 6 to 8 months or so. And that's definitely helped me continue to push through the workouts. Do you think that if I stopped, then I would see a significant drop then?
no, I think the only supplements, if you were to stop taking, you would notice a note, like enough of a difference that you would be able to actually notice would be protein and creatine.
Mm-hmm.
And the other ones, X Endurance and stuff, it's like a magnesium electrolyte supplement. It helps inhibit the buildup of lactic acid and stuff. You might notice that one a little bit too. But for the most part, as far as just pure results, like the reason you start taking an X Endurance is to increase performance.
Yeah.
And so if you're just taking your protein creatine, that's really all you really need.
That's true.
And but you know, you might notice a subtle difference, but the biggest difference you're going to notice is if you're not taking enough protein, not taking any creatine or enough creatine, you will notice the difference, and it will happen within a few days. You'll notice the difference.
Yeah.
So my biggest two is take your creatine, take your protein. Beyond that, any additional supplements, as long as they don't have banned substances, they're made naturally. You know, hey, try some out. I like to take X Endurance, magnesium electrolyte supplement, inhibits the buildup of lactic acid. I feel better in my workouts. I take beta alanine. It's a vasodilator. It's kind of a controversial supplement because it does cause a little bit of tingling. Some people like it, some people don't. I don't take that much. If you're tingling a lot, you're taking too much.
Yep.
And I take Element, which is an electrolyte supplement also. And those are like my main ones. But yeah, I think the main ones that you would notice a bigger difference is stop taking your creatine and your protein, you're going to notice a big difference.
Yeah.
Stop taking your other additional supplements, probably not. You know, if they're banned, yeah. If you're taking testosterone or HGH or whatever, like steroids, if you stop taking those, yes, you will notice a huge difference. All right. But we're just talking, you know, regular supplements that are allowed.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, be consistent with them. My biggest advice is take your protein and creatine very consistently. And then anything else on top of that's kind of like icing on the cake. And when it comes to supplements, find the ones that you like and that work for you. And, you know, it's a little bit of trial and error. Protein, creatine, or 100% take those. And then every other supplement is like, you know, what are you going to remember to take? What financially can you afford? And what actually, after you take it for a few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, what do you actually notice difference-wise that's beneficial?
Mm-hmm.
And if it's, you know, if you like the way you feel, keep taking it. And if you're like, honestly, I don't really notice a difference, and you have to take them consistently for at least like 3-ish weeks to really be able to gauge that. And you're like, I don't really notice a difference. Cool. Maybe that supplement, you know, I'm not saying it doesn't do anything for you, but maybe it's not moving the needle the way you want it to. So try another one. Because there are supplements out there. Like when I started taking X Endurance, I was like, damn, I actually feel a difference in my workouts. Like I just feel like, hey, I get tired, but I feel like I can kind of keep going. And I was like, I like that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to keep taking that.
So, because I have that competitive drive and I've been competing and I saw it. And so I was like, well, let me try it out. And then I started seeing some differences in the workouts. And then I was like, yeah, I like this. So it helps me keep pushing, just keep pushing the line further back.
Anything you find that will help you like that, like I said, as long as it's not banned and it's got good ingredients, take it.
Yeah.
Why not? All right, but
we sell some here, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We have X Endurance, we have Test Plus, we have electrolytes, we have creatine, we got protein, we got it all. So if you're in the market, we sell it. If not, just order it online. You can get it. Just if it's creatine, make sure it's creatine monohydrate. And your best protein is going to be your whey protein, unless you're allergic or for reasons you don't take it. Take a casein protein or a plant based. But you know, get that protein in, get that creatine in. It's good for you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Eddie, thank you so much.
Yep.
I got to run. podcast has been about an hour. We like to keep them short. Joe Rogan's got his podcast for too long. I always say that. 3 hours, bro. They're good.
Yeah.
They're the best podcast in the world, but they're long. Anyways, so I really appreciate it. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Your journey's been great to watch, and it's been a privilege being able to watch it as a coach and as a friend. So awesome job. Until next time, we're going to get off the couch and we're going to go not just talk the talk, we're going to walk the walk and go get off the couch and do something active.
Go do something.
So I hope you do too. And if you're in the Thornton, Denver area and you'd love to try us out, CrossFit MOB, CrossFit-MOB.com. Come in for a free trial. Love to have you.
Do it.
All right, until next time, thanks for joining. Keep it real out there, everybody. I know I will.